Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings and Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson. Marcel, let's start with you. Have the Steelers handled this divorce properly?
Properly? No, not properly. Poorly? Maybe extreme, but certainly not in their best light. This wasn't the best version of their character on display for us throughout this entire process. It wasn't a nasty divorce, as you said, because there wasn't a tug-of-war. You've been to that family picnic when you're holding one side of the rope, and boy, I hate to be on the other side of your rope. but I've been there too, Whitlock, and the other side just looks and says, I'm not going to pull. And then everyone falls down here, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were in a tug-of-war with a guy who wasn't trying to pull back. He just was sitting there on jet skis, hanging out in Miami, and then he trolled him one time by saying, let me go to Pittsburgh to get all my stuff, but I ain't going to tell you why I'm in Pittsburgh. Oh, y'all think I'm coming back? Oops on y'all. And that's all I saw out of this. This was the cleanest divorce you can have in sports when you talk about a guy sitting out. This is not the San Antonio Spurs with Kawhi Leonard and that nasty divorce, because they recruited every former player, ambassador of the Spurs, to go out there and talk bad about Kawhi Leonard. This was a situation where a couple old linemen talked trash. A couple guys said I texted him, he ain't hit me back. But from Le'Veon Bell's perspective, he's going to go out there, and that guaranteed team contract he already has, basically he's locked up. The only reason you'll do this with that type of security, that's going to be a win for him. And the Steelers got somebody by the numbers, that is actually doing a comparable job. It's a win-win, not a nasty divorce.
I totally agree in a sense. I feel like the Steelers win in a sense because they have James Conner under a real rookie contract. They don't have to pay $18 million. They got a less than $1 million player, and he's producing. That's the big thing, I think. And also, it kind of takes the light away from Le'Veon Bell. The offensive line is like, look, dude, we're doing this. This is why Le'Veon Bell is the guy he is. Now, don't get me wrong, Le'Veon Bell's a great back, but you have to have the guys up front. For Le'Veon Bell, I don't think anyone thought he would sit out and not take $14 million, but the upside is he has a chance to make $50 million or $40 million. It's almost like, you ain't gonna like this. You know, you don't get on me about the money. You know, when I held out with the Rams, it was the same. I just wanted to make what I thought was fair, $1 million. Now, if that was $1 million, you're talking about $20 million. But he's doing what he thinks is best for him, and he don't have to take those hits on his body right now.
But
so,
Eric,
in a sense, he wins.
When you left and went to Indianapolis, I don't remember the guys in the L.A. locker room throwing a parade and raiding your locker and celebrating it.
Well, first of all, if they did, when I left, I took my stuff with me. My stuff was already gone.
You had no problem with what the Steelers did yesterday?
I feel like I didn't like that part of it. You know, that's not right. But you know, that's just sometimes that's immaturity. I mean, you didn't see Ben doing that. I mean, that's immaturity.
From a contractual standpoint, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers did what they felt was best for them long term. Now, from a team standpoint, publicly, from a media perspective, they handled this all wrong from the jump. Week 1. They started going in on Le'Veon Bell. Week 1. And so if I'm Le'Veon Bell, I'm looking at this like, man, this is how y'all really feel? I'm not coming back there. So I think this played a lot into his ability to just make an easy decision and say, I'm not even coming in. But when you start, your quarterback is saying things, your offensive linemen are saying things about you now to where it's going to make it hard for you to want to come back in there and look them face to face and then earn, well, number one, them respect you and you respect them. It would never work. And with this last deal, the whole going in my locker, like, come on, Marcel. Like, y'all, we are in that building, and that's like our home. Yeah. The locker room is like our own bedroom. That's our own sacred place. That is true. If you walk in the locker room, the first thing you say if you see somebody else, what you doing in my locker? 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 What you doing in my locker, man? Your best friend. It is. So, yeah, this
is a little nasty. It feels personal for the Steelers.
It does feel personal. Some of it feels tongue-in-cheek. I mean, they're smiling. They got social media. They got camera phones. All the things that didn't exist in our...
Yeah.
Certainly not Yo Day.
Whatever.
So, I mean, maybe it's a little bit of the immaturity mixed with the opportunity of like, oh, we're still going to be boys. We're still going to talk. We're going to still hang. But
they're going to be boys.
I think so. Look,
they talked about the man's money this offseason. Big Ben just said, man, I'm glad I ain't got to talk about this no more. Now we're going to loot his locker and put it on tape but we're going to be cool.
You got to look at it through the lens of which they're trying to portray this. There's a millennial out there. There's this existence out there where this is not a nasty divorce. This is more like your main just stop hitting you back. And you talk
That's nasty to me.
It hurts me too. But hang out with some of these youngsters. They're like, man, they just stopped texting me. I'm like, oh, really? That's it? Yeah, that's how I go now. Like, they break up through text. They're so informal now that we look at it like, hold on, you didn't drive over there, look her in the eye and say it's over? Like, no one does that anymore. No more paper routes. No more milkman.
Right.
Like, all that
they
is
just
gone.
swipe left. They used to swipe right, now they swipe left and it's over.
I just
Le'Veon
think the guys in that locker room are touched more than Le'Veon is. When you listen to Big Ben say, I mean, he didn't text. Why you got to even tell me that? He didn't even respond back to my text.
Like you said, those guys are kind of touchy about it. But as Le'Veon, he's distanced himself from that. But we know this much here. The Steelers have never been a team that's going to overpay their players. They don't. They just don't do it. They're going to pay you what they think is fair, and if you don't go with it, so be it.
I can guarantee this, and Marcellus, trust me on this. Le'Veon Bell right now is in some booth working on a rap diss track about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Trust me on this. Le'Veon's a rapper. We've seen him he's putting out a diss track over this. I guarantee in the next 2 weeks. This is an ugly divorce. And then the last point, and Eric, I'll start with you first. I just wonder, James Conner's done an amazing job when he thought he was just a placeholder and trying to do as much as he can while Le'Veon was gone before Le'Veon got back. Do you think in any way, now that the job is actually his, do you think the pressure or it might change his performance, productivity, and energy now that the job is actually his?
No, not at all. I think he always wanted the job. You know, he probably wouldn't have the job as long as Le'Veon is there. I think even for the offensive line, they're going to even block that much more for James Conner because this is our guy now. You know, he's a downhill runner. We don't have to wait and all that patience stuff. And James Conner's going to give you his best. So I think this is a great opportunity for him, and he's taking full advantage of it.
Oh, look, from a guy who came into the league in a rotation where I knew it wasn't my job, so every time I went out there, it felt like I was playing for gravy, which I think is some of James Conner's mindset before this moment. And now, oh, this is me, now I'm playing for security. There's a different mindset. There's a different pressure. There's a different expectation. But he has certainly met him to this point. Look at the numbers. The most touchdowns rushing that Le'Veon Bell has ever had is 9. He already has 10. I mean, the most Le'Veon's ever had in a season combined is 11. He's already had 11. So the guy is sitting there playing with house money. I think he'll ride that. This is not insanity. This is going to go a lot further.
Yeah, I still think you miss a guy like Le'Veon Bell. Anytime you have to replace a guy with that ability, you will miss that. It's not that you can't replace it and you can't pull from other areas, but that's just the thing. It doesn't take just one guy to replace a guy like Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, is James Conner playing outside his mind right now? Of course. But we all know this is how we gauge. Can he sustain that? Will he sustain that? Not just this year, because next year and the year after and the year after.
Yeah,
when D coordinators get serious,
yes.
It's no longer this joke. Or when Le'Veon's coming back, it's like, oh, you the man?
Oh, you the guy?
Oh, you the guy? Okay, we got something.
Yeah, we got something for you.
Look, I just think the Steelers have handled this like they won this divorce. And I just don't think they have. I think it's hard to win a divorce. I came up with this last night. I hope and pray that somehow, and I'm not a huge Colts fan, but Indianapolis is my hometown. If he gets to the Colts with Andrew Luck, we're going to see who lasts.
And Eric Ebron, that tight end, who was leading the league at tight end touchdowns. Here's the thing I'm noticing about the Steelers, why they're so happy, is because what did they win with Le'Veon Bell? Think about it. Like, a lot of regular season games, 13-3 last year. Any Super Bowl championships with Le'Veon? I mean, this is how it gets cutthroat upstairs. We can let that ride, y'all, because we have not won it all with this guy. Let's try with someone else.
We're saving $17 million this year. So look at that.
Right.
We're saving, baby, $14 million. James Conner is making less than $1 million. That's a big saving. You know, teams are all about money, too.
You know what? I've said that about Le'Veon going to the Colts. when Eric went to the Colts, nothing happened. We didn't win a Super Bowl. Nothing happened. No one benefited. Jeff George didn't benefit. I didn't benefit. No one benefited.
Give me something I can slap him.
Stick around.
Give me that cone over there.
Later in the show.